Blake Production.
Yo, Galaxy Squad, what is good? It's been quite a long time. I feel like it's been like 4 to 5 months since I've last posted. So, pardon the hiatus. Your boy I've been like really enjoying life. Moved into the new condo, which was stressful but also fun to kind of experience and dabble into like that side of investing. So we're in my own new place now, which is wild. Um, just enjoying summer, enjoying life, spending time with family, the girlfriend, playing lots of golf. Um, so I feel like it was like the perfect time to kind of like take a break from posting all the time. And like why I say that is because like where we left off, I'd say like 4 or 5 months ago, the market was, we knew what was coming. Let's be real. We've known what's coming ever since the Bitcoin ETFs got approved. We kind of had this idea of like, oh, okay, things are going to go a lot higher, not only with Bitcoin, but with Galaxy. So I think it's so interesting to, see, one, to see how emotional people can get in the market. You see a lot of the bearish Galaxy posts that I disagree with, but when you have the bigger picture idea of what's going on, it can give you so much more time to like enjoy life in these things. So that's why I kind of took a little bit of a break. But now that we're kind of here, I'm going to just try to get a lot more back into it, especially over the winter time. But where we left off, I think, is very interesting because we left off, I think it was like 4 or 5 months ago. Galaxy was the number two, and now they're the number one sole validator. Again, we knew a bunch of these things that are gonna not only continue happening, but like grow on a massive scale. Like, for example, the GK8 custodian being a ETF provider, right, with Invesco. What else do we got here? It's almost like a countless amount of things. Galaxy's assets under management are going to significantly grow over the next few years as more people come into the space. We knew all these things, and that alone was bullish for the company. Now, what we have is, of course, there's a U.S. president that is bullish crypto. I imagine there's going to be a whole sort of like, I want to say line of business, but like there's going to be a whole group of people in the US who specifically focus on crypto. They're already talking about Bitcoin being a strategic reserve asset for the US. Something like 2 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years is what they want to accomplish. Crazy things are put in place. It's good for Galaxy also as well, because now this kind of, maybe it'll accelerate the opportunity for us to get uplisted onto the Nasdaq. Right? There's unlimited amount of things. I'm gonna highlight. If you go to my Twitter, you go to my highlights. It's been a while, but like if we look 1 year ago, I made this post, the ultimate bullish thesis for Galaxy Digital Holdings. This was the written version. I also, if you scroll down in those highlights, there's a video version. It's like a 12-minute video posting about Galaxy. If you look at all these things, it's wild how before Trump got elected, before the announcement of the strategic like reserve for Bitcoin in the U.S., we all knew Galaxy has insane potential. The Nasdaq uplisting, we knew that was coming. Now it's like, now the way you got to think of this, in my opinion, is it's a guarantee this shit's gonna go down. Okay, Galaxy is going to go onto the Nasdaq. It is a matter of time versus if it's even possible. I think these things are now guaranteed. So what can we do, right? From a chart perspective, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, none of it's financial advice, but this is from being in this stock over the past since 2019, right? Like being in this stock for 5 years, you start to learn more about the company and you get more of a feel of like the technicals as well if you pay attention to that. But like right now, in my opinion, anything under $50 is free money. Why I say that is because I think it's pretty evident that things can get drastically like kind of out of hand here. So the only way I like to explain it is like from a technical perspective. When we look at the markets, I look for patterns, right? I understand this company. Now for me to understand it more on a like a price basis, I want to look at the technical patterns. And what I see here is super interesting because we could see something like, so this is Livermore's, Jesse Livermore's kind of like a chart that I guess he made up back in the day. And I find there's so many similarities to this and Galaxy Digital Holdings. We've had this upward channel, right? Where we've been consolidating, but in an upward fashion, right? So that's telling you 100% demand is increasing the price. Even though there's periods of consolidation, it's still on an upward trend, creating higher lows. That's bullish as hell. When we enter this phase now where it's like, okay, there's going to be people rushing to buy the stock before it gets uplisted to the NASDAQ. There's going to be the NASDAQ pump of, okay, now every single person entity can buy Galaxy, where now it's kind of like obscure. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to get it. And then, of course, the whole Galaxy business going for a boom, right? That's including us potentially having more hands in stable coins, more hands with, like, for example, I want to, if anybody knows anything about this, like we were talking about it, the US plans to have a strategic reserve of Bitcoin. Is Galaxy's GK8 custodian company line of business going to have a holding of that, a piece of that? That's very interesting. GK8, I imagine, partnering with many different other companies is going to be a great, you know, it's a great way to get revenue for Galaxy. You have our fees that we generate from assets under management. That's only going to continue as the crypto space grows. We have the trading desk where you have pretty well elite traders kind of generating, they're basically generating yield from trading the crypto space, right? There's also the venture side of things where Galaxy, in a very niche way, since they've been so dialed into the markets, they understand what could be the next booming thing in crypto and they invest in that. There's so many different things that, and there's probably things that I'm just because I'm rambling, I'm not mentioning, but I think for it kind of gives me the idea that this is the part we're going to get into right now, right? Of this Jesse Livermore's speculative chart here. We're going to get into this part. Now, if that's going to happen, what does it look like for Galaxy? And I've talked about this before as well. We'll also kind of include it like, if you think of it in waves, right? Wave one, wave two is a long period of consolidation. And then we have wave three, right? We've talked about this before on my channel. Wave three could be insane, right? Why I think it could be insane is because a lot of the times how people calculate the wave three is they measure how deep down they go in terms of price, right? So if they go down that much, the potential to the upside, let's say, I don't think it could go to 500 right away, but the opportunity for us to get into six figures, right? Say we go 90% down. Another way you could, sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but another way we could think of this, for example, for wave three, okay? Wave one is like a 6,000% opportunity, right? Wave four, after we fully break out of previous all-time highs, let's say we go 2,000%. Like, look at the numbers here, right? The opportunity is insane here on Galaxy. It's wild. The next few months, I think, are going to be very interesting. If we do have that crazy burst of, like section 8 to 9 of the Livermore chart, we could see something where Galaxy pretty much just goes parabolic from the things we mentioned before, right? That could be simply trying to understand all these people who couldn't get Galaxy now can get Galaxy once it's uplisted onto the Nasdaq, right? Another thing we got to think of, right? We as when I say we, I'm talking about like this niche community of Galaxy holders on Twitter. We understand that like Galaxy is a lot more impactful company than a Coinbase is in the crypto space. At least I think so personally, right? If that's the case, and Galaxy is in the likes of a Coinbase, Coinbase is around like 68 billion in market cap, and Galaxy is what? I think Galaxy's like, I think it's 8-9 billion in market cap. Like, Coinbase is 8 times bigger than Galaxy. If they're in the likes of each other, let's say Galaxy has a potential opportunity to get up into that like 60 to 80 billion dollar market cap. Like, that's like an 8x, right? So even if it's an 8x, you're looking at a $270 asset, right? And it's on sale for $25, right? It's wild. It is really wild. So the reason why I have this channel up, I wanted to highlight the similarities to the Jesse Livermore chart. Okay, we have this potential opportunity that if it is similar, we're going to be in that little range where potentially it's something like this. Maybe the next few weeks and months are just parabolic in the crypto space, and Galaxy heavily partakes in that. We got to be, willing and open-minded to see something like this through. Okay, what else do we got here that's absolutely insane? Well, let's look at it. Let's say it's not as that aggressive. Like, what could potentially happen if it's not that aggressive? Well, we could reach previous all-time highs. Again, sorry for rambling, guys. It's been a long time, but there's a lot of things going through my mind here that I want to be prepared for. Say we run up into previous all-time highs, and there's a consolidation period in Bitcoin and the rest of crypto. We're going to see Galaxy probably stall as well. If these things line up, we hit up to all-time high, there's a period of consolidation. There might be something like this happen, right, for a little bit before we get another run. That's fine too. Again, this goes up all the way until July 2025. It might be shorter. It might be something like this, right, where we get the push and it goes up until April where we consolidate, right? So many different things could happen. The greater picture that I'm trying to look at right now is, I think it's hard to say, again, because anything could happen, and of course I could be wrong, but I think it's pretty obvious that we're looking at Galaxy, the stock, being worth more than $100 a share, right? So anything under previous all-time highs is free money, in my opinion. We don't even look at this. Look at this previous week here. It's up 50% in a week. This isn't even on like the greatest volume that we've had of all time, right? So crazy things are on the way, in my opinion. The crypto space can get wild, and Galaxy is known to outperform Bitcoin. This is one of the assets you want to be holding in this next phase of, the markets. So that's the breakdown. Super long video. It's been a long time. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed it, even a little bit. But we're back. So expect more videos, expect more content, and expect me to be a little bit more vocal on the markets, especially on X. Peace, guys.